whose pilot. Okay, everything should be fine now. So we have,
Are we audible?
yeah. Now everything should be fine.
Okay. We are back online with the commentary.
So we have said some things.
Yeah, the play by Filip Kwiatkowski showing the Lion's High Diamond early on could have telegraphed to Artur Bogusiak that he has another one ready.
May I see the
Just in
list
case.
of? So as you see,
Something happened. We're not watching.
What?
But it seems that Filip Kwiatkowski has scooped to the pressure. I will just make sure that we have the correct result now.
Yeah, the opponent scooped.
Spirit of the labyrinth too strong for this kind of throw.
It's just the perfect counterplay. When the main idea of your deck circulates around building card advantage and cutting your opponent's hand, and then you have a big wall like Spirit of the Labyrinth that makes your whole plan utter garbage.
It's not the whole plan, it's like the bigger half of this plan. But yes.
Well, most of the current eco decks don't use any specific creature removal.
They don't. They have Otawara.
Yes.
And sometimes they play under Karn, the vehicle that deals 3 damage when that there's a battlefield.
Yeah, but usually these are the side cards. Well, Ottawa sometimes being the main deck
tutorable
card.
by Karn.
Yeah, but you have to get to your Karn fast.
Yes.
And when your opponent is building up this huge board presence.
Yes, there's too much pressure, and the only out from this is first getting a ensnaring bridge with Karn.
Exactly.
But against blinkable Skyclef apparition, the ensnaring bridge is not long for this world.
Yeah. It just yeah, exactly.
It's like 2 turns, additional turns to live, maybe. Now, we know the options of the sideboard. We'll not spoil the fun.
Yeah.
There are a few, but the problem with 80 cards deck like the Orion is that sometimes
they choke on themselves.
Yes, it may be the problem to actually get to the silver bullet answers right in time.
Yeah, they tend to be a little bit clunky. Especially when you're playing mostly white things and you don't have that much possibility to force this brick of cards to do your bidding.
Yes, it's limited time that you have to actually draw the right pieces of the deck when the fast combo player on the other side of the table doesn't allow for that in the long run.
Of course, they usually play cards like Recruiter of the Gods or the Stoneforge Mystic,
Yes.
that can fetch for some things.
In this case, it may be too slow of a solution.
But in contrary to Maverick decks that play Greens and Zenith, and thanks to that they have a vast majority of deck open for tutoring.
Even the mana advantage,
Yeah.
because of the Queen's Zenith, it could fetch a Dryad Arbor. But here we see Arthur doing precisely that, looking for those answers, mulliganing swiftly, because he's probably aware, being the good player that he is, that in this matchup he needs those answers, those hosers, maybe let's call them stacked pieces, as soon as possible.
What is interesting that in this stocks-ish tactic, your opponent also has those pieces with the symmetrical effect that also affect the game. You don't need to find everything you need. You just need to find specific cards that interact with your opponent's deck.
That's right. While the holiday deck tries to do generally tries to go one of the two ways, and it's doing exactly that every time, consistently.
So now we can start the game. City of Traitors. Oh,
That's,
it looks like a cow.
the break, the echo.
Now the players. Now Philip is playing Uno.
Players debating whether Philip could have left the 2 blue mana floating if he didn't actually announce it. Casting the spell. I guess he could. He could have this mana
No,
floating.
when he grabbed his library to resolve the echo.
Yeah, but technically the board state didn't change at all, and well, he knew that the opponent had no response. Okay, so that makes a difference.
Yeah,
As we
yeah,
both know,
that's
there
why.
is a single card that could have been the response to that.
Yes,
Only a single one, but
yes.
you can guess on the chat what card we mean.
Okay.
It's kind of beneficial in a way for Arthur to like force this draw 7 because he was mulliganing, so that's an additional card.
What is that?
That is a card version from the Secret Lair with a wall of text. Karn, the Great Creator.
Oh, that is that con. That vintage, old schoolish con.
And now, what Arthur is looking for is the pitting needle, perhaps.
Maybe. Maybe. That might be the case. Problem with playing against cards with well,
He lacks
I'm getting tired.
He lacks the pitting needle in the deck list. There is no pitting needle. There was nothing that could save him from this turn 1 Karn
Well,
with a poor hand, so they
well,
decided to go to the next game.
The problem with playing against that Hull Breacher Eco-Con constructions is that you are keeping a hand with plan in mind. But even though you've kept the hand with a certain plan, this certain plan might be shuffled into your library.
Yes, the Echo
pretty
is
fast.
a plan on its own, but the result of this plan is kind of random. It can backfire. I witnessed it a lot of times that the Echo just backfired, drawing just random mana sources. But the risk is worth taking.
Yeah, that's just the plan. You're just doing the thing until it pays out, or until you're out of gasoline.
Now let's see if Arthur finds the desired answers he wanted in this game.
Or of peril, if you're beige.
Let's see if the players keep their 7. Philip reporting the damage on his sleeve, intending to exchange the sleeve right now.
This is the problem of playing with a player with judge experience.
They will always want to exchange exchange
not
thieves.
really. They notice the things that pro player or just the competitive player wouldn't notice by any
Do
means.
not underestimate pro players. I would notice many things.
Yeah, but as your knowledge as a judge gets broader, you start to notice things that usually players don't pay
Even
attention
those
to.
minuscule details like this. That's very kind of him to actually intend to make up for this lack, like
Maybe
right
we
out,
should,
out of the bat.
update the score.
Yes, now it's even. 1-1. So the final game of this match is upon us.
I really hate it when it gets off center.
Now look at the axis now. It's totally tilted to the right side.
From my angle is great.
Oh, okay. It's symmetrical to the upper border of the mat. Perfectly
Why
horizontal.
did you tell me? Why?
What it is? It's symmetrical.
Tell me why ain't nothing but a heartache.
I think it's the second time I've heard it today.
I'm just getting tired.
Your heart is getting tired. Hence the ache.
Something happened.
Philip debating whether
Whoa.
to keep his hand, but he kept. Fine.
Wow. He decided to give his hand.
May look like a risky one, a shaky. Let's see. Philip would prefer his opponents not to have mana, but we would prefer them to have a game. Shadow Spear from Filip Kwiatkowski.
Okay. Okay.
Just casting Shadow Spear. Notably, it makes Metalcraft's artifact, edition 1, but it won't be necessary since there is the Lion's Eye Diamonds.
And
The
would you look
Spirit
at that?
Of the Labyrinth.
Who would expect that?
There are 2 creature removals post sideboard from Philip's deck that may have been sided in.
Ancient Doom.
Yes. And now the game has come to a limbo on Philip's side, because he's forced to contemplate what to fetch with Karn, probably, yes. That is indeed the Karn, the Great Creator.
Arn the Great Creator.
He has the option to take Karn up 1 to animate Shadow Spear, or to, which is risky, or to actually wish for an artifact. He wishes for a Walking Ballista, but
Oh.
doesn't crack the LED yet.
So now Spirit is in danger.
Yes, but the Karn is dead by now. The Spirit must be taken care of anyways.
Is it possible?
But now, Arthur is back with a vengeance, surgically extracting Karn, the Great Creator, and even taking the copy out of the opponent's hand. Alright, he took 1 copy out of the opponent's hand.
That might be a heavy hitter.
Yes.
right there.
A thing to remember is to make sure to extract the pieces in the graveyard as well, because it's not mandatory, but Philip has some reshuffle effects. It seems that all of the cards have been exiled.
Let's have hitter. One of the most important lock pieces has been removed.
Yes, but the game is still winnable via the piece of the deck that different taxes sometimes struggle against, which is Urza's Saga.
Oh, now you have Italia.
Thalia won't matter that much because the ballista can tackle both the spirit and the Thalia. But we'll see whether Arthur forces Philip to actually spend the whole ballista as a creature on both of them.
Well,
Philip is unwilling for obvious reasons to shoot right now.
We have to remember about one very important thing, which is Caracas.
That's right.
If
So he allowed.
if Arthur is able to find Caracas,
That's right. That would be backbreaking, but the more important threat is the Spirit of the Labyrinth, and that's exactly what Philip is doing. Like, he's letting the ballista live, obviously, and then let's see if Arthur wants to allow the ballista to live. So he does.
and now Arthur has Yorion in hand. We'll
With
see
3 mana.
if it will come in handy.
Yorion would constitute a great fuel source for pitch casting a Solitude if need be.
Trying to shoot Italia. What do Arthur do now? What will he do now? Thalia is under at oh.
And so he did. He's pitch casting Solitude from Yorion, but Philip does not allow for it. Casting Force of Will.
Uno.
And apparently he discarded the Echo Fails as well.
Both players will now draw new 7.
I was making sure that Philip had the necessary mana, but it seems he did.
Philip sitting on cozy 11 life.
Another 7 for both players without any cards on Philip's side.
And now we're back to square one with lands added.
But Arthur doesn't have the access to Yorion anymore.
Yes, he does, but he has to draw it.
Yorion was exiled to Solitude
Oh yeah.
while pitch casting.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I forget about that.
For reference, there are no other Yorions in the main deck. In the core of the deck, like there is only the Yorion in the companion zone. Yes, indeed, the land has been played.
I'm sorry.
No, but actually, take a look. That is a very unusual match from those decks against each other. Mogę im powiedzieć. Maty mogą przesunąć.
Now we'll ask the players to move the game space a bit to fit a little bit more into the scope of the camera. Okay. I think now it's a little bit better. Chad, what do you think there? How's it? How's it? Is it better? Or is it worse?
You do the tweak? Seems so. We can now see. Oh,
We still cannot see.
Okay. Maybe can go even further with that. I don't know.
Well, let them play.
Okay,
In my
let them-
opinion, let them play.
The graveyards are now empty, for reference.
In Philip's Exile, there are 4 counts. And in Arthur's Exile, there are Yorion.
Yes. And nothing besides that.
Oh, and also in Philip's Exile, there is 1 echo.
And something that he used to pitch cast Forceful.
Yeah.
Getting rid of the pesky ballista, and Philip lets it resolve. So the ballista is in the exile.
True that it's quite impossible now for Philip to fetch it either from Exile Zone or the Graveyard,
Yes, it's better to
considering-
gain life.
considering that he has no Khan available. And Stoneforge Mystic.
Yeah.
What?
Following the deafening silence.
Yeah, that is pretty powerful.
Now we'll have an old age battle between living weapon and constructs from Urza's Saga.
It doesn't necessarily need to be a weapon.
I assume it will be, but let's see what Arthur comes up with.
Well, it can be Lion Sash. It can be.
And indeed, it is.
Huh?
It's a Lion Sash.
See?
It wants to make sure. It also may mean that some vital equipment piece may already be in Artur Bogusiak's hand. To be ready
No,
at,
not necessarily.
Philip may take this into consideration.
Not necessarily.
Would you search for Lion Sash at the moment when the graveyards are almost empty at this stage of the game? For no reason?
Yes. Yes, playing Lion Sash lets you further cut the possibilities of Eco deck.
In a way. There is a Chałupniczy at end of turn.
And now the big reveal. Will we see another reshuffle effect?
Doesn't look like it from what I've seen in Philip's hand. At least not now.
Or maybe, maybe not.
Philip is convinced that Arthur has hidden also a cauldron in his hand, in addition to the lion's sash. Naturally, drawing cauldron, obviously, would now make for a great trick out of the blue.
What if all of it was just mind games?
But it was. It's still a mind game if you search for a lion's sash and have the cauldron ready in your hand. Do you see it? Is it there?
I cannot tell.
We will not spoil the big surprise.
I think Caldra will be winning. No, it might be.
Remember that on Philip's side is also the Shadow Spear, which would make it more easy, in theory, for Philip to raise even Caldra. As an additional benefit of life, it might come in handy here. And there's also a silver bullet under this saga.
Let's ponder a bit. How many pure removal spells does Eco Hell have?
Pure removal, like those that
like
can
like the heart removal.
Only the Black Phyrexian, the dismember.
And for that, for using Dismember, you don't necessarily need to remove
and there it is.
Caldra's indestructible.
That kills the token, because it's minus.
Yeah.
Indeed, but so does the silver bullet from Urza Saga, because Urza Saga triggering, the final chapter represents having spell bomb, which can bounce the token. Token which is obviously carrying the Caldra.
What will happen? The future will tell.
Arthur considering his options. It's a tricky decision to be made here. Knowing of the dismember in the opponent's hands, found by an asset, Philip has the ability to sacrifice the Lotus Petal, even without sacrificing. There's an ancient tomb on the battlefield. He can create the
and we
token.
Have lances maybe in play.
He may just cast the dismember if he really wanted, without losing any life points. If he finds that relevant in any way. Lion's Sash in play. Stoneforge Mystic activation. Putting the Caldra into play. It might be considered a mind trick, but it was not. It was kind of obvious to Philip. He admitted it verbally.
And now we have a big attack. Big attack.
Maybe not big enough.
Big attack.
The dismember right now being the only defense that Philip has at his disposal if he taps the mana.
Maybe yes, maybe not.
We know that.
Yeah, he'll do this.
He does, but paying 4 life to
And
destroy
remember,
the token, but preventing
just-
5 damage.
and just token destroyed.
Yes. The tempo is off for the death and taxes. Okay, paying 2 life, or ancient tomb.
Caldra just needs another carrier. What would be the fine carrier for Caldra? Stoneforge, you think?
Yeah, I mean, it can be Stoneforge, it can be Lion Sash itself, but the Lion Sash is more important right now.
So equipping Caldra on Stoneforge Mystic kind of forces Philip to use some kind of answer to that. But from
It's one mana short of doing that right now. And the answer will be tutored, I guess, from the Wizard Saga. We'll see, but we can assume that he'll come up with Ether Spellbomb.
What happened? Oh, yeah. The creation of treasures from the
Making sure with the judges when exactly Saga triggers and when the card disappears from the battlefield.
There's a dispute about when will the Uza Saga head the graveyard, well, just be removed from the battlefield. Is it before or after the search of the artifact and
And it's after. It's after, obviously, but there is
And
no
a spellbomb
window
will
to
be
do
found.
anything in between that. Once you search, the trigger resolves and the saga goes down, and it's your main phase.
and
Everything is going on
now
in the main
Philip
phase.
controls two very big, very scary constructs.
Let's count them. It's
1, 2,
like
3, 4, 5, 6,
7.
7. A total of 14 power.
yes, one can attack, and he could, in theory, equip the Shadow Spear to make the token 8/8 with lifelink, but then risking Swords to Plowshares from Artur Boguszek, potentially.
Let's see what will happen. Eco.
Found by an asset. A relevant card right now, cast for mana. Arthur with a response.
He'll exile something, thing, which we cannot see using alliances.
What he has exiled might have been an Urza Saga that is there in the graveyard
Yeah.
right now.
Yeah, that's possible.
We can guess that safely.
And now Philip will draw new 7 and create a crap ton of mana.
And we have the interaction. Narset and Heartbreacher both on the battlefield. The opponent didn't draw any cards this turn, which means that 7 treasures
Will be
will be
made.
created, replacing every single draw from the one draw that Arthur would have 7 times. It's a pretty funny interaction, to be honest. A very nice foil treasure token on the battlefield.
And now those constructs are dummy big. So they were 7-7, and now they are 14-14, which translates to
They are not, because he sacrificed one of the artifacts.
so
Oh, still damn
7,
big.
8, 9, 10, 11,
13.
12, 13, 13. That is 23 raw power.
Now one of them is 12-12. 12-12 with lifelink and trample.
12, 12.
After the shadow spear equip. Oh, only one of them can attack. That's right.
I've mistakenly counted Nasset as
Okay.
artifact.
When playing against this deck, this happens. You're counting everything as artifacts.
And now it's
Okay.
the
There's a
Hellbreacher
trade
will be
with the Hellbreacher. What does Arthur have to draw now to make it out of this alive? And there's a handshake. Filip Kwiatkowski, despite the Karns being exiled,
will
takes the win.
takes the win, and he'll be playing in the semis.
The top four. Let's have a brief moment to contemplate the game on our own. Let's have a short break just to see
So what do you think?
other.
What do you think? I think this game was good. It has shown the vast possibilities that which playing 80 card deck gives.
Yes, as a Death Taxes player, Arthur was really close to winning this one. It's a very unfavorable matchup, so as we have seen, might take some interesting turns.
But Arthur put up a fight. And it was an entertaining fight.
And we are glad we witnessed that, and that we chose this exact pair to be featured. Let's update the score. And the winner is Filip Kwiatkowski, 2-1.
So there'll be 2-1, and now I think we'll have take a breather and see what's happening on the other tables.
Yes, I will briefly consult the other tables to tell you which decks are still competing for the main prize.
So we will be right back soon.